Hey everyone, it's Wowous. We're here with a Hearthstone deck review of Odd-Spiteful Mage, which is a wild deck. It's posted on Hearthpwn and created by a user Solum. I'll post a link in the description below if you're interested in playing this. As I mentioned, it is a wild deck. I don't play a ton of wild, but we're going to try it out, see how it works, see kind of how easy it is to kind of just pick up and play, especially at a low level. And yeah, we'll jump right in. If you like to see deck reviews, learn more about Hearthstone, talk about cards, definitely subscribe to my channel. We put up a lot of Hearthstone content. Actually, not a bad starting hand right off the bat. Now this is a Baku deck, so it's an odd card deck, which obviously gives you the improved hero power, and then yeah, we kind of get it going pretty quickly, hopefully, and see how we can do against a Hunter deck. Let's see, maybe we can outface him here. Now, a couple of things with the deck. The Clockwork Automaton can obviously combo pretty well with the Fire Eaters, and you can end up doing a ton of damage. So that's one way you can win. You got the Dragon Hawk in here, and Frost Lich Jaina and some elementals, so you got the ability to kind of go late game with folks. Well, that was easier than I expected. Let's keep playing, because that obviously wasn't a very good indication of how the deck was. We'll jump right back in. It's always nice when folks concede right off the bat to you. They know how powerful the deck is. Now this deck right now is one of the top decks on Hearthstone, so it probably is going to get a lot of use. We may see some mirror matches, especially in Wild. Let's see here. And Brawn, I think, can be useful with a number of the cards in the deck, especially if you can Brawn into a Spiteful. You can do, you can have, excuse me, some really great synergy there. In terms of spells, you've got your Firelands Portal, and that's the only two spells in the deck. So you got to be careful in terms of making sure that if you've drawn both of those, you're out of luck. But you got a lot of cards that can, like Babbling Book, that can have you draw spells. And I look forward to playing Jade Idol again. I do not miss that from Standard at all. It's probably about the best one drop that you can have is an animated Berserker. Causes damage to his characters every time he plays one. I think next turn we maybe go with the Cabal. I kind of want to force him into... Let's see. Yeah, I think I want to do this and see what I can draw. That will be way too much draw, I think. Because I'm going to 5-5. I think we're going to have more success with this. Yeah. I think we could maybe combo that with the Dragon Hawk later on in the game if we get there. And then we'll have two Ragnaroses. Alright, let's get some draw going. Drop down this guy. Alright, let's do either Spellslinger or Tar Creeper. Alright, let's do this and see what we get. There we go. Nice little wave clear there with that combo. I do worry about this deck, this Jade Idol deck, outpowering this deck pretty quickly. I haven't drawn any of my real power cards here. And while we can get to late game Jaina, these are going to be very hard to get down to 1 health for to create more Frost Elementals. So definitely interesting. I think we need to go face pretty quickly and see if we can just sort of go full aggro here, because I don't think I'm going to win a long-term sort of battle with this deck. Well, that was not particularly helpful. Let's see what we can maybe get. And we've drawn basically every low-powered card or low mana card in the deck, and we have all of our, really strong cards still, which I guess is good in terms of ramp, but just an interesting statistical oddity here that we have none of the cards that are 5 mana or above. And again, we draw another Tar Creeper, so I guess we try to throw him down there to just kind of absorb some damage. I think we do this, right? Yeah, I think that's going to be the way to go. I think we play this next turn, right? Because then it gives us the ability to potentially drop both Clockworks in the same turn. And that, along with the Daring Fire Eaters, we could get 16 damage, I think it is. Plus 2. Well, it depends on if we have Jaina or not. Alright, we'll drop that down. And Tar Creeper to just absorb some more damage. I think that Jade Golem is maybe my least favorite deck to play against in all of Hearthstone history. I mean, there were a few broken decks that were obnoxious to play against but got nerfed over time, but this Jade Idol deck was the worst in my opinion when it was out. Especially when it first came out, it was just terrible to play against. And I do not miss playing against it at all in Standard. Especially with the Auctioneer. This is just obnoxious. Alright, so Dragonhawk isn't ready yet, so I think we have to Baku. We draw with this. There's an automaton, which is not super helpful at the moment. I think we take out this guy. And then I think we just call it a turn and let them go. I don't have enough to take out the auctioneer this turn, but next turn I can drop. Well, I could drop a prawn during Fire Eater Clockwork. I still need 2 to get this. Eventually I could brawn into a Dragonhawk. This combo with the auctioneer and Jade Idol is just so obnoxious. Alright, well he opened himself up to me killing. I guess I summon a combo of him, right? This might come in handy. And now we can brawn Dragonhawk, I guess, and try to do a lot of damage that way. I also will be doing, let's see, we're at 8 now. This adds more, but I think this combo's after this. So he's gonna move real quick. I also think the problem with Jade Idol, I think the design flaw with Jade Idol, why it's so annoying, is that it's 1 mana. I think if this card was like a 5 mana card, it would not be nearly as broken as it is. But to be summoning all these folks with 1 mana and then being able to combo with Auctioneer is just so obnoxious. And now he kills both automatons because he's able to basically cycle his entire deck through his hand in 1 turn. So frustrating to play against. Alright, so we can do this, which adds 2 more damage, but we can double it with Brawn, so that will get us up to 6, and then with 1 automaton, that would get up to 12, which still isn't enough to lethal. I think we Brawn and then Dragonhawk. And then I think we just take out this frickin' obnoxious Auctioneer. I actually would have preferred that one of them hit the face, but what can you do? Let's see if he has any spells. I mean, if he doesn't take out Brawn, we could Spiteful and get 2 minions that way. We can draw 2 spells. But I just have nothing to defend against this sort of late game idol. I guess we drop everything, right? Let's see, we're at 10. Having an automaton would be So maybe that was our mistake there, is dropping the automaton too early. Because this would get us to 20. We're like one turn away from lethal.
Wanted, dead or alive.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing. Oh, that's not what I want. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot that's going to be super helpful here. So we're going to concede because we are going to get killed next turn. So that's a very tough matchup for this deck, is this Jade Idol deck. So I would say, you're never going to win against every deck, but unless you can win very quickly against a Jade Idol deck like that, I don't know how this deck would fare late game. I mean, I didn't pull a Jaina quickly enough. I still didn't get my Frostmage Jaina, so I didn't really have any lifesteal opportunities. A very, very difficult matchup for this deck. Let's see what we get this time. Shaman. Let's see what he's playing. Yeah, we can keep all these. That'll be fun. Continue our streak of just holding on to the weakest minions that we have, the weakest little in terms of mana. We'll keep our draw going with all these. Oh my gosh, we're literally going to draw everything at 1 first this game, I feel like. I think, and thinking about it, I'm like, I guess the biggest weakness of this deck is that if you don't get any sort of like wave clear from these spell cards, you're basically out of luck, especially in that late game that you all saw. Like, I needed a Blizzard, basically, or some sort of combo to be able to just wipe them, like sort of the Frost Nova, Pyro combo. And that's, I guess, what this deck is missing. I don't know. I mean, I haven't played it enough to say definitively, but it just feels like that's going to be the problem that this deck has. I am going to miss Stonehill Defender when it rotates out next month. It's I think one of my all-time favorite cards that Hearthstone has created. I played Stonehill Defender in so many decks. I feel like it was, I think statistically on, I look at HS Replay, which shows you basically statistics about card use and win rates and all that. It gets so much use. I think it's in like 30% of decks or something right now. Just such a super card. I probably should save an elemental for later on, but we'll see. These combo nicely. I could Bloodlust next turn. And, at least it didn't draw back the Stonehill Defender. Maybe I will Bloodlust next turn. Well, I don't know that I'm going to have a better opportunity to Bloodlust, to be honest. Yeah, let's do it. Just go face. Now I'm the shaman. And that's, I think, a good start, right? To be down, have them down to 13 on turn 5. I actually don't care about that. The my guys can take, we can trade evenly for that, and it's really no real impact. Get some draw going. And then I think we... Lucky us. Let's see. 2, 4, 8. I think we may be able to lethal next turn, right? So, oh no, we can't get both automatons down. But we can do... Okay, well we have to kill this, but we could do 5 damage to face. I could do 5, yeah. Or I could do 4 and 3, 7 with one of the automatons, but I think I want to save it. I think I want to do this and see what spell we draw. Oh, well that's not super helpful. Alright, let's do this. And I can at least draw a card with that. Oh, yeah, 2 cards. You draw for yourself, too. Eight gets us to... Well, he's going to be able to take out pretty much everything with this now. Now he gets the Megafin. At least Megafin doesn't have taunt. I can Spiteful next turn. I sort of want to just take out this stupid totem, though. Right, I think you just combo these two. Because that's really going to be a problem. I could have black catted with that. That was foolish of me. I guess we Jaina next. I mean, Jaina's gonna be super powerful against a Murloc deck because usually they're pretty much like all like 1/1s, other than these guys that keep adding. But I think the Jaina's gonna be the best play because then we get the lifesteal going. Yeah, I think we do this now. It makes us less able to lethal with our hero power, but I think it's going to be a better counter to this deck, to this Murloc deck, but we'll see. Ugh. It's actually not a terrible outcome for that turn. I can Tar Creeper. Of course, had I had this in my hand before I Jained, I could have just lethaled. 3, 6. Yeah, I don't have enough to lethal now. So I think we do this. See if he must have some sort of removal to get rid of this Tower Creeper. Maybe not. If we can get 2 damage to his face, we can lethal. But if he's smart, he's gonna take out all these minions. Does he have enough? I don't think he's enough damage actually. He's got 6. Well, depends on what other spells he's got and whatnot. He also may not be expecting me to lethal his face with automatons. It looks like he's not. So we've got it. Yeah, so I think this is, at least people aren't expecting you to drop this sort of combo. So yeah, not a bad deck. We go 2-1. We definitely get crushed by Jade Idol, but again, something like a Murloc deck, it does pretty well. Again, not playing at a super high level here in Wild, not my usual game here, but wanted to give it a try, see how it worked. Overall, pretty fun deck, pretty interesting deck. I can see where it would have some weaknesses against some of those really strong late game decks. You just need to get one of those combos going, whether it's your hero power combo that you saw or a combo of the Dragonhawks and Brawn or things like that. I think being able to draw Brawn is huge in this deck. He has a lot of versatility. He's really the key card in this deck and a must-have. But other than that, if you have any thoughts about the deck, leave a comment below. If you'd like to see a specific deck get reviewed, definitely let me know. Point a link to me and I'll take a look at it. And we'll see you next time. And if you enjoyed the video, if you could give me a like, I'd appreciate it so much. Thanks.